Alright my handsomes, welcome back to Dave's Tiny Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a real Cornish pasty. Shh, you're not allowed to say Cornish unless you're actually in Cornwall, just over the border. So we're going to be making a real copy of something like a pasty that's in the next county over, but it'll be a proper one. Okay, here's the ingredients for our pasty. First of all, with the Cornish, with the pasty, the only meat you should be using is skirt of beef. Beef skirt. This is the stuff. Nothing else. No steak. No chicken. No lamb. Nothing. No courgettes. No carrots. Skirt of beef. Point one. Couple of potatoes, diced up quite small. Do that in a minute. Finely diced onion, pretty much. Then, of course, the swede. This is a swede. Not sure if it'd be any good. Probably a little bit old, maybe a bit woody, but that's all I've got. So, now a swede. It's like a turnip, but it's not a turnip. It's a swede. Turnip is a small white thing, totally different taste. So you need a swede, really. You can't. You can get swedes in America. I know, up in North, I've seen a recipe, and there was something called a Bwca. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. And when I looked up what the heck that was, it was a swede. So that's what you need. Lastly, an egg for an egg wash to brush the pastry with. Then obviously you need some pastry, salt and pepper. Now look, for the pastry, I've made pastry 1,000 times. Well, maybe not that many, but I've made it a lot. I can make pastry really well. But for the purposes of this video, I'm using shop ready road pastry. How lazy is that? That's terrible, Dave. You're not even a cook. That's lazy. I know. That's what I'm using. Next time I'll make my own and show you how to make it. Anyone can make pastry. It's pretty good. So onwards and upwards. Let's crack on. I'll get peeling. You get resting. But homemade, beautiful. So easy to do. You can cut around in a circle and make that, and you know, get a perfect oval and do all that if you want. Or you can just do what I do and do this. So we grab a handful of the diced potato. You can see how big the dice is. It's not that big. Put a bit of that on to start with. We get another handful of our diced skirt. Again, you can see that's a bit bigger dice. You don't want huge great chunks of meat, and you don't want little tiny bits. You want a nice size, and spread it out across the pasty. Then a small handful of onion. I don't think it really matters in which order you do this, as long as the potato goes on the bottom, in my opinion. And then the swede. This is how much swede I'm putting in for one pasty. So again, it's a small handful, and you can see I've cut this reasonably small. Aim for like a 1/4 inch dice, or thereabouts. Again, I'll top that off with a little bit more diced onion, just plain white onion, and then obviously don't forget to season. Cracked black pepper. And then some salt. This is quite a fine. So you don't want loads of salt, but you want enough. What you can also do, it's entirely optional, but you know what I'm like with the butter? Bit like T. Roy's cheese, really. a small knob of butter. Just plonk that in there, and we're ready to try and assemble this. I might have a bit too much fill in there, we'll see. The only way to find out is to have a go. So what I do is I just wet my hands under the tap, my fingers with water. You can use an egg wash for this bit if you want. So I'm just wetting the edges of this pastry for about ½ inch in. And then we just simply, so I'm saying simply, it's not that simple obviously, fold it over. Like I said, there's a little too much filling in this one. Let's lose that. But you don't want to underfill them, you want plenty in there. You can see I'm just tapping this down. Scout those bits out of the way. I've lightly floured this board so as the pastry doesn't stick. And again, what I'm doing now, I could use my silicone brush, couldn't I? This is not the glaze. I'm just going to seal around the edge, get it damp with a bit of water. I've always used my fingers in the past, I shall continue to do so. That's that. Now, because I'm cack-handed, all I do now is to crimp. You don't need no fancy technique. All I do is just push it in. Don't forget that's a little bit wet with the water. You'll see I'm just pushing it in with a finger, turning it as I go, like that. Now these bits on the end, they form a nice big piece. Look at that, man, I love pastry, and that'll be such a big crusty corner there. That'll be so nice. It's not the world's perfect shape, but it's going to taste gorgeous, trust me. This is one pasty. I'll get 2 on there. Before that goes in the oven, I'll glaze that with an egg. Just put a small hole to vent it. Okay, that's our pasties made. 4 of them. This one here, as you can see, went a bit rough with that one and it split along there, so I've rescued some of the pastry from the edges. Bit of a patchwork job on that one. Okay, 1 hour later, probably about 10 minutes on high and 50 minutes on low. Just to test your pasty is done. Something sharp like a skewer. It goes through very easily. You know the potato is cooked absolutely fine. That's it. Done. Oh man. Okay. Cornish pasty, fresh out of the oven, red hot. It's really hot. superb. Superb. Thanks for watching.